Hey everyone, I'm back at the bench here. I have some results from a awesome little cartridge called the 221 Fireball. Here's here's a 223 case for comparison. These are the 221s. So a two weekend ago, last week, went to the range to try this new powder with this, trying to find something that works better than the IMR 4198 I was using. So here we have the first range trip, different powder charges. I did 8-shot groups on these to try something different. Honestly, 5 shots have misled me so many times, so I thought maybe I could save a trip and save some effort. And in the end, it comes out to about the same amount of components. But anyways, this is what I got. These are just kind of some barrel warmers, ciders. Wanted to try some different stuff, but my main focus was 16.4, 16.7, and 17 and 17.3. I only did 3 shots. I didn't know if that was going to be overpressure at that point, so what I should have done is tested all these first, 3 shots, see what pressure was like. But anyways, I got an idea what it was doing. And anyways, so yeah, that's that trip. Doing 3-shot groups for all these, it probably would have been a little misleading on a couple of these groups. But anyways, you'll see kind of the results of what 8 shots looks like, for each powder charge. So anyways, the other thing actually, from past results, I know the 220 or the 221 Fireball shoots best around 3,200 feet per second. So with these results and the velocity, I was pretty confident on what I was gonna, on this choice. So anyways, yesterday went to the range, and here's what we got. I took 17.3 grains and I shot 20 rounds to get an idea of what's really going on. Where is this gun really at, or this load? They're actually, I was supposed to shoot 20, ended up being 19. Anyway, so you can see here 0.574, 0.610, and 0.561. A couple things to keep in mind here. A lot of people look at ES and SD for the results, and this is why I shouldn't say feel, but this is why sample size is important, and using five shots using SD and ES with only 5 shots can be completely misleading, and make you think you have what you don't have. So the example of that is, this 5-shot group had a ES of 19. This 5-shot group an ES of 61. So then, the next group had an ES of 38.8. So this is completely random. If I only shot one group, I could have had an ES of 61. It could have been, that could have been the first group, or this one. Just using that by itself is, for one 5-shot group isn't completely definitive. So this is why I did 15 shots, 20 shots really. These are only 5 shots, but I was able to get a 15-shot composite of what this gun does. And and I didn't even, to get that 15-shot composite, I'm not looking at each individual group size. what I did is I took and overlaid those, traced them out. So you can see this is mirrored because I had it flipped over on the other side, or on the front side. But anyway, so you can see how they lay out, how they overlay, and the total group size ended up being 0.650. So 15 shots is 0.650. The other groups, they were in that I just showed were, over 1 inch for 8 shots. So, but anyways, this is another reason why I think measuring groups for, group size by itself, the extreme spread of the group, and why mean radius is pointless also. It doesn't tell the whole story. You really need to measure the farthest shot from your aim point for each group, and figure out where that is, because look what that ends up getting you. These the farthest shots from my aim point are different for each group. So you really got to take all the data into account, and make sure you have enough shots. It really is true, regardless of what everybody, what their feelings are, people's feelings are on it. They think they can get away with 3, but they really don't know what the whole story is if they're not doing more. 3 shots, 5 shots, even 10 shots can be misleading. So anyways, I digress on that part of it. What I'm really here for is just show how much better, or to show how it shot. And the results are, on average, are better than the 4198. And, we have some seating depth left to do. So this thing could turn into a little shooter. I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Lots more projects. Thank you.